Welcome into the PHNX Daily Bet Show, brought to you by the one and only DraftKings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app, and also an official sports betting partner of the NFL. This week, you can bet just $1 on any NFL game, including the one we have tonight. If either team scores a point, you get $100 in free bets when you sign up using that promo code PHNX. Johnny, you look a little cute today.
Oh, that makes me uncomfortable. Shane, you were gone yesterday. Thank the good Lord. You're somehow back today, still at mom and dad's house, not in studio. Do you plan on actually working this week?
I've been working like crazy this week. I was at ASU availability yesterday. ASU plays tonight. I'm going into the studio after this. I'm going to work on some stuff. Get ready for the ASU GCU game. If you are at that game, come say hi to me or don't. I know I'm intimidating in person, but I promise I smell good. So
intimidating for all the wrong reasons. Everybody keep your safe distance here in the virtual world where you can admire me from afar.
Can we get this comment up real fast? Shane. Can we get this comment
What's
up real fast? Johnny, fuck your life. Bing bong.
I don't know who that is.
Get
that man banned from the chat right now.
You don't know what bing bong is?
I don't. I'm not hip with the kids' lingo today. I'm an adult. I got up this morning and just started cranking out my picks, cranking out my bets. I'm over 60% this year. That's better. That's on par with professional bettors in Las Vegas. Shane is sub 60.
Dude,
he's a loser and a fraud.
Stop.
There's no way you're over 60%.
There's no way there's no way you did.
Yes, I'm over 60%.
Okay, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to go back and look through all of the graphics and get all of the
Do it.
Okay, I will.
I'm easily. I might be over 70%.
I guarantee I'm up on the units. I've hit way bigger.
No
yes,
chance.
I have. Yes, I have.
Up on the units, maybe, not on the individual picks themselves.
Okay,
no.
I'm making more money for people, so.
Well, you're not telling them how much to bet. I'm cashing on Italian women's basketball. Thank you, Matt. I don't know if you can get that on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. You might be able to.
You probably can. They do have a lot of there's plentiful stuff. Look, tonight the Vikings are at home against the Steelers. Primetime Kirk Cousins. Just a weird game. Vikings coming off a short week, obviously both teams, but Vikings coming off a short week and a huge loss to the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff embraced Man Campbell. Did you sprinkle on the Lions money line during that game, Johnny?
I sprinkled before the game, had a nice little payout.
Really?
I was at the point where, I told you I was betting the money line.
Nice.
Before the game. That hit, but it wasn't anything robust. I think it was under plus 200 by the time I bet it. Most people in Vegas thought that game would be relatively close. And so I made a little bit of money on it, not a ton.
Yeah.
They should have made me money in prior weeks, though. I was convinced just to continue betting the money line until it happened.
Yeah, and it finally did. Look, that game was a division game. 19-17 was the score the first time they played. It wasn't the craziest long shot, but still, it's a loss to an 0-10-1 team. Zimmer's definitely on the hot seat. You texted me this morning that you think the Vikings have already given up on Mike Zimmer.
Yeah, they've quit.
Which I don't know if that's completely true, but I can totally see it. Alvin Cook is a game time decision tonight with that shoulder. I bet you just see a split backfield if they play. I don't think Dalvin Cook gets a crazy amount of carries. Adam Thielen is out. But a big thing for the Vikings, they're getting Eric Kendricks back for the first time in a long time.
Whatever.
Steelers' offensive line's a little shaken up. They're starting a new guy, I believe, at a guard position. So a lot to look at. But first, let's look at Johnny's picks for the night. I think we're relatively the same.
Yeah, I feel really good about this. I think the Steelers are going to win outright, but just if you want to parlay these two together, +3 with Pittsburgh against a Minnesota Viking team that I can't emphasize this enough, on a short week, just lost to Detroit. They have quit. They have given up. They allowed Jared Goff to pick them apart, upwards of over 3 touchdowns, almost 300 yards passing. I think the over hits because I think the Steelers can get sloppy in the second half like they did against Baltimore. They allow teams to backdoor cover. But I am convinced Steelers are winning tonight. There's going to be a lot of points, even without Adam Thielen. But I feel like Roethlisberger, short week is not a good recipe. But give me Big Ben all day, every day over primetime Kirk Cousins, who is laughably bad in key spots. He's got the most solid stats this year.
Mm-hmm.
They're 5-7. He's got 25 touchdowns and 3 interceptions. You would never know it if you watch this team. So I'm all over the Steelers, and I'm all over the over tonight.
Yeah, this game is so strange. The Vikings are so strange, specifically because of what they've been doing in late game situations. 7 of their 12 games have come down to the last 2 minutes. The last, I think 3 or 4 of their games have now ended on the final play of the game. They've given up 52 points in the last 2 minutes of a games alone. It's ridiculous. Good. So I like that +3, but my pick for tonight, Steelers money line, baby. Give me that +155. I just think Big Ben pulls it out at the end. They might even roll tonight. I just don't have that much confidence in the Vikings in general. I think I'll bet the +3 and sprinkle a little bit on the money line. I also like the over 44 points. Justin Jefferson is going to score tonight. I feel like this offense is really good in the passing game. But so has Big Ben's been incredible in the last month, which is something that I'm eating crow on. I've hated him this year. This is his last year. Maybe he goes out with a bang. Diontae Johnson has been reincarnated, and he's a really good player now. Go ahead.
I feel like Ben struggles late in the year in part because of the elements, right? In Cleveland, Cincinnati, and Baltimore. This game's in a dome tonight. That behooves him to play well. Again, I'm not buying Big Ben long term, but as you can see with my props here, I do think that he has an explosive night, as about as explosive as a 100-year-old Big Ben can have. So if we can get my props on the screen, please.
Johnny, you're going out of order.
Did you submit? Did you submit mine?
No, you're going out of order. I said I was going to do my props first, so you're making the producers confused, but it's okay. We'll go with yours first.
When did you say that? That was
before the show. When you just don't listen to me, it's fine.
No, that's fine. Well, I wasn't on that call. I wasn't privy to that conversation. Let's talk before my Justin Jefferson first TD, which I do think that receiving core is watered down to the point where it's only Justin Jefferson. Pratt Freiermuth tied for with the lead with 6 touchdowns with Pittsburgh Steelers. Only Diontae Johnson has the equal amount. Mm-hmm. Freiermuth is the most productive rookie tight end. Kyle Pitts has 1 touchdown this year. I bet you didn't know that. Freiermuth out of Penn State, 2nd-round pick, has 6 this year. Anytime TD tonight, almost +200. I love that. I also love Big Ben again going over 255.5 passing yards for a defense that just allowed just under 300 passing yards to Kirk Cousins, to Jared Goff. That same game, Jared Goff had 3 touchdown passes. I think the Steelers with Eric Kendricks, it might be tougher for them to run tonight, especially with some backup offensive linemen, but I think Big Ben airs it out. I think he hits those easily. And last but not least, Justin Jefferson, if the Minnesota Vikings get the ball first, I do think he finds his way into the end zone.
I got glowing eyes because Johnny picked the spread and I took the money line, so I'm like powering up. That's the reason why I gave myself glowing eyes. The thing about the Justin Jefferson first touchdown is it's +650 on the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. A lot of other books have first touchdown like 450, 500. So you get the best odds at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. They always got good odds. They always have crazy things you can bet on. They always have really good promotions. So if you don't have it, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and sign up using that promo code PHNX. This week, if you bet just $1 on this game or any other NFL game, and either team scores a point, you get $100 in free bets this week at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. It's safe, it's secure, it's reliable, it's fun to use, especially when you're watching an ASU basketball game or a team that isn't the best. You have something to bet on. I like betting the under on ASU basketball. I bet on the under in the Washington State game when they scored 29 points overall. So you can do stuff like that on the DraftKings Sportsbook app. 21 plus, Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for more details. All right, well, let's get my props up on the screen. I got Najee Harris as the first touchdown scorer. This just goes kind of hand in hand with my Steelers pick. If they dominate tonight, which I think they can, Najee Harris will have a good game. That could be through the air or rushing, so I like that. Johnny, stop making noises while I'm talking. You also mentioned Kirk Cousins' interception number to touchdown ratio. It's good this year, but I'll read you out some Thursday Night Football stats. He is 12 touchdowns for 9 interceptions in only 7 games played, and that's plus money. I always say if you give me a coin flip on a bet and it's plus money, I'm taking that all day. And that seems like a coin flip if he throws at least 1 pick. So give me that plus 110. And then Justin Jefferson, I got over 27.5 as his longest reception. His last couple games, he's had receptions of 46, 80 something yards. Like he catches the ball deep a lot. But I also think he's used a ton more without Adam Thielen. So I'm taking his over 7.5 receptions as well. That's at plus 100. He's had some really, really high reception games this year, especially in a game where you're not going to have the leading guy. He's going to be the number one guy. The only thing I can see happening to take away from his load is maybe Tyler Conklin gets involved and that starts working, and maybe Dalvin Cook has a good game. But plus money, always love taking that. Johnny, why were you muttering when I was talking?
Well, because I think Dalvin Cook this year has been slightly overrated. He's having kind of a subpar year, just under 800 total.
He's always injured.
Rushing yards.
Always injured.
3.6 yards per carry, 5 touchdowns. I mean, once upon a time, the Cardinals and their fan base, mainly their fan base, wanted the team to take Najee Harris 16th overall. And you look at, I know James Conner's.
Oh, you're talking about Najee Harris.
Under 4.
You said Dalvin.
Well, no, but I'm comparing. Oh, I'm sorry. Najee Harris.
Gotcha.
Najee Harris. James Conner's got almost 20 touchdowns this year. Najee Harris has 5.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
former Steeler, now with the Cardinals, doing better than the current Steeler that the Cardinals wanted to draft. Kind of full circle moment. He didn't even look that explosive against Detroit last week. I would just have a hard time putting money on Najee Harris outside of what you mentioned, which is the first TD.
Yeah.
Because of the spread so big on that. But outside of that, his props this year have not been hitting.
No. One thing that I will say is James Conner making less money than a rookie?
Yes. Oh, easily.
That's
Najee Harris is, as a first-round pick, even at the end of the first round, his salary is probably over $2 or $3 million. James Conner is almost making the veteran minimum. He is making, I think, like $1.25 million this year. Now he'll be able to parlay that into a nice deal, hopefully with the Cardinals this offseason. But talk about value. That's why people say don't pay running backs. Don't take them high.
100%. I'm against paying running backs as much as I love the position. It's not profitable. I agree with what you're saying about the Najee Harris stuff, but as you said, there's value in that just because of how explosive he can be on any given play. Dalvin Cook, more like man made of glass. Yeah, he is made of glass. Dalvin Cook actually leads the NFL in times gone into the blue tent and then playing in that same game. He's done that, I think, 3 times.
Okay, he loves doing that so much.
It's
incredible. Paul Pierce of that. He loves doing it.
He was carted off the field 2 weeks ago and started crying, and now he's a game time decision.
It's not funny, but it is kind of funny.
Yeah. Look, this game to me is going to be really dependent on if we see primetime Kirk Cousins or November Kirk Cousins. It just depends on his play. Other than that, I think the Steelers can really dominate and take over this game, especially if they first force a turnover in that first half and really started good. It's indoors in Vikings territory. I made that mistake earlier this year. I forgot they switched to an indoor stadium, and somebody roasted me in the comments. So it won't be cold. No. And so I think the over is completely in play. I can see a Justin Jefferson 1-play touchdown on the drive in the second half happening. Or maybe on the first play to cash your bet. Anything else to add to this game before we talk about the rest of the show?
What is the rest? I don't even. What do you even have planned?
I didn't want to say promoting stuff, but we're going to promote some stuff before we get off of this game.
Well, here I'd like to talk about something. Okay. Go PHNX.com. I just posted an article this morning on the Cardinals' other standout safety that you should make yourself aware of if you're not already. Jalen Thompson, the phenomenal year, some may argue Pro Bowl season that he's having. How did he get here to the Arizona Cardinals? Supplemental pick back in 2019. All that and more. Go PHNX.com. The work of myself, my many talented peers, Derek Montoya, Gerald, Craig, breaking down all the crazy bad shit information going on with the Phoenix Coyotes not paying their bills. Sounds like me forgetting to pay my electric bill. Just crazy stuff happening. But you can check all that out. More phenomenal Arizona sports coverage. Go PHNX.com.
Why'd you make Derek sound like a drug lord? Montoya?
Is that how you pronounce his last name?
I think it's just Montilla, but sure.
I feel like that's all I've ever called him. He hasn't corrected me, so I'm going to continue calling him that.
Well, guys, if you're watching on YouTube, leave a like and subscribe. Turn those notifications on. If you're listening on audio, leave a nice review. You don't have to write anything. Just leave a 5-star review. Share with your friends.
We don't want to hear your thoughts.
All right, John.
You don't have to write anything.
That's how you build an audience. Guys, tonight I will, as I said earlier in the show, I will be at Desert Financial Arena covering the GCU at Arizona State basketball game. I believe Arizona State's 4.5-point favorites in that game at home. Coming off Phoenix Coyotes, Johnny. I didn't even catch that.
I merged PHNX Coyotes and Arizona Coyotes.
Mhm.
I am sorry about that, Leah.
Mhm.
I cover football. I am so sorry. Please forgive me. No one tell Craig and
Well,
PED.
two
I'm
show
so
plugs.
sorry.
If you haven't watched the Coyote show, they did an emergency live show last night because of all the arena stuff going on. There's a report that came out this morning that they have paid their bills, so they will not be locked out. But you should still watch that. Really good information. A PD venting session. I thought he was gonna die from a lack of air because of how much he was talking. Also, if you haven't watched Frank Sanders get a tattoo live on air, that video is fantastic. It's up
Featured
on
on TMZ, motherfuckers.
all right, just get away from the mic. You're so loud. If you haven't watched that, it's on this YouTube channel. Go check it out. And yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Big show if you haven't seen.
Probably one of our biggest of the year, you could say.
Yeah, the director of the DraftKings Sportsbook app, Johnny Avello, is here in StreamYard. I was gonna say in studio, but
in my parents' house.
Yeah, exactly.
In my backyard.
He's here talking NFL odds and all things betting. That's going to be a really fun show Monday through Friday at noon every day, including that show tomorrow at noon Arizona time. Johnny,
Can we discuss what you are and aren't going to wear tomorrow? Appropriate attire for a professional guest. This is important to the show and to the brand, Shane. For those of you who don't know, we had Super Bowl winner Michael Lombardi, NFL Executive of the Year, Michael Lombardi, on this program.
I wore a
and
Coyotes
Shane had
t-shirt.
Literally just rolled out of bed after a bender in Old Town, and I was so embarrassed for us.
Friday night. It was a Friday during the day. I didn't go out on Thursday night.
Weekends mean nothing to you.
Johnny, you live in Maricopa, so you're just sad that you can't go out.
We're getting to Chili's. It's going to be awesome.
All right, guys. Well, yeah, be sure to join us tomorrow at noon for that show. Johnny, I'm going to wear like a fucking suit tomorrow now.
Good. Do it. Tuxedo, bro.
You can follow Johnny at Johnny Venerable on Twitter. You can follow me at Shane Dief on Twitter. You can follow the PHNX Bets Show on Twitter at PHNX_bets. Follow PHNX_sports across all socials, including this YouTube. If you're not subscribed yet, WYD. Johnny, why are you crossing your arms?
Love all the engagement in the chat. This is super fun to see you bros and ladies in the chat.
And if you're listening on audio, come over and watch some of the shows where it's consistent every Monday through Friday at noon. Come get your voice heard. We answer some questions. If we need more questions, more of it's just people like yelling at us. So ask some questions if you ever have any, especially tomorrow. We have some expert advice on, because normally we don't, because it's just me and Johnny. Guys, thank you for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow at noon, and peace.